Hi, good morning. So last night, my guidance was no, no, no. Don't report all the foot traffic and the insane shit you're hearing. And I mean, yeah, I know this is sound reason to log that one in, but it was total opposite. It was no, don't. So I put up about the agents getting to the Al Qaeda terrorist prostitute and the please, Mickey, now and now. I put up that and the far right. I can't have all these interruptions all the time. You can hear the sound machine. This is the constant insanity, dude. I just need to not have something else come in my way, man. Mickey, come here, honey. Come here. Okay, so try to stay fucking focused, man. Is he all right? Are you all right? Mama love you. Are you all right? By the way, Mickey's doing really, really good. I gotta stay fucking focused here. Damn it, man. Okay, so I put up about the agents getting to talk to these women because this is where it really seems to be heading, unless they let somebody in or something happens to them out there. I don't really know how these people who are in the business of killing other human beings, I don't know. You can still hear the roaring through the sound machine. I don't know how any of that works. Come on, we know that. And I do not get the impression that I talk to adults anymore because I have to describe and explain so much that clearly I am not. I'm talking to people in adult bodies with the brain, whatever the word, at probably 6 or 7 years old. And that's what I've decided. That's what I'm dealing with. Oh, fuck yeah, unfoundedly. But so like we got a junkie downstairs who would let somebody in. Yeah, for obvious reasons. We got a junkie upstairs I'd be using for obvious reasons. And plus she's a far right drug dealer. And then we got a hooker who lets everybody in. Okay. And last night there was 3 different people. I got the number 3. I heard a guy and he was up there partying with her for a while. And I thought I heard a woman, but I mean, that's what I hear. I haven't seen, right? But I hear all this mad foot traffic. And this is what I wanted to describe. And I got the green light when I knew she was alive to say it. So last night it was just guidance very strangely because that I would have filmed. Oh, Jesus. And I would have logged it in, but it was no, don't. Do the opposite. Let her party. Go ahead, put this up that she's going to talk to agents. Good agents, all right? Not the dirty ones. And just ignore her. You are safe. You, Heidi, are safe, so just ignore her. So then I went to bed around 10:30 or 10, and it's impossible to go to bed. In my little room I'm in here, which is kind of separate from the main, you have to come in here. I don't need to describe and explain everything to you goddamn fucking adults. Anyways, where I'm in here, it's not as loud. It's just for my own fucking sanity, I don't have to explain the fucking obvious to them. It's not as loud. So if you're in the other room where I cook, it's incredibly loud. And let me just say this, because I have to be able to communicate with adults. I can't communicate any longer with adult children. All right, so any apartment I've ever lived in, all my life, certainly a room rental where you're in someone else's, I don't need to explain this to adults. All right, so you would be evicted, guaranteed. With what I heard last night, you would be talking to your building manager, blah, blah, blah. You'd be either facing eviction or getting a solid warning in legal, all that, so they could throw you out legally. Yeah, what I heard last night. So the wailing and laughing, she was so inebriated. So inebriated. I laid in bed and I realized she's got serious mental health issues and you need to kind of stay away from her because she's really, really fucking loco. Anybody who's laughing like that, call the psych department to explain what this is, that when someone goes on for hours deliriously laughing like that, really, really loud. I'm telling you, she would have faced eviction today, all right? Deliriously laughing for about 2 hours straight. So loud that I know the neighbors to the left and the right can hear the shit coming through their walls. Absolutely unfoundedly. You can hear it outside. And the banging, went on for hours, and the slamming, violent outbursts of the doors every about 5 to 10 minutes. Bam! Like, we're talking like the Al Qaeda guy that lived here. She outdid him last night. She's so high and can't move, closing the door every 10 minutes and slamming. Like, this is madness. I laid in bed. I'm like, no, she's clearly got mental health issues. If a whole bunch of, beat cops were to come in here in uniform, they'd have a lot to deal with her. I mean, just stay away from this chick, okay? Stay away from her. And she's a little bit bigger than me, so yeah. All fucking nuts. Laugh, woo. You'd have to probably put all kinds of restraints on her. Yeah, man. Obviously, dude. Stay away from her, Heidi, all right? But that wasn't, I don't know, this is what I want to get to. So I put up the letter. That was okay for me to do that. But it wasn't okay for me to actually log in legally, docket, file number, all that, to the DC PD, what I witnessed last night, which would have been solid gold. I could have filmed some of that, put it on the internet. My family was just like, no, sit in your chair, stay right in here, stay out of the main part of the house, because that over there, that way, that's the real house. This was an add-on. They added on when they built it. And this is like built in the 20s, this area. I'm in this room. Okay, so there's people coming in, and then I heard, I don't know who it was, but someone come in quiet, but not too quiet, but I heard, up to her room, and she had been laughing and hooting and all those kind of noises, delirious person, like stuff like that, okay? And then this insane loud, like she's fucking really got serious, like yeah, like a psych ward, probably someone's under restraints and stuff. Like, I'm serious, dude. Like, I'm very fucking serious, okay? I'm staying away from her, man. And she's going fucking ballistic up in there in her room rental, which would get you evicted from anywhere else, all right? Unfoundedly. This is what I heard. So then I heard someone come in, and she got even louder. And it was like, let me just go ahead and describe something for the millionth time. It was like this really high-pitched, excited, like, I don't want my cats to get bothered by this when I'm making those noises. My cats don't appreciate that, by the way. So loud, I've never heard anything like it. It was like as if you're in a sports bar and some really inebriated chick sees somebody that she really loves or likes, and she's just screaming, right? Well, that goes up there, and then it stopped. It was like someone covered her mouth, and it stopped. And then I heard boom, 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 on the floor. Go for about 15 seconds, a little while. And then everything was quiet. Quiet. And like, I was like, what the fuck just happened up there? With that massive boom, 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 boom on my ceiling, it sounded like they were, throwing like basketball, playing sports, okay? Yeah. That would have got you evicted from your apartment. Oh, yeah. Or too in trouble. Big time with the management office. Oh, fuck yeah. All right? My guidance was whoever's up there has got a gun, and there's more than one guy up there, which, look, I filmed that. We know that she does that. And it got really quiet, and I'm like, well, she's got to be doing a trick, right? She's up ass or mouth or something. That's why they're quiet, right? And then all I heard was one stepping foot kind of going towards this way of the house, and then that was it. It was just mouse quiet after that, right? I hope I'm talking to adults and I don't have to explain this anymore. So this morning when I woke up, I basically assumed that she might have brought somebody in there that really did something bad to her. But I went to take a bath just now and I heard her again. And I wasn't really happy because this woman, I allege, sets up other blacks to be killed by the KKK in an overthrow of the United States. So I don't really care what happens to her. But it was I don't want to describe and explain how I felt anymore. I don't need this fucking adult children. Anyway, so I heard her and I was like, whoa, wow, okay. I don't want to describe and explain my thoughts and feelings about that. I'm fucking really resentful. And what did she do? How did I hear her? Bam! She's at it again, slamming the door. Okay, so she's clearly not going to... I don't need to tell grown adults this, that you can't conduct yourself like that anywhere. But here, because it's IV drugs, this was my guidance. The Iranian devils have come here. The new one from Iran, everybody's issued shit on her. The Iranian devils are coming here for her, Gwen, and Russ. And when I hear anything, I can't call the cops. Okay, because it puts me in more danger. And so this is what I have to say to the cops. When you're dragging 3 bodies out of here, because this is what I strongly believe will happen. This is what I have to say to the hitmen. Can you please, hitmen, take the bodies with you? Let me address the hitmen. Iranian hitmen, please take the bodies of these 3 people with you, because you're putting me in another, of course you don't care, uncomfortable situation where I have to wait until I get my gut instinct that I'm safe to inform the authorities if I do hear anything. Because last night I couldn't really tell. They could have done something to her and somebody witnessing it really wouldn't have been sure what happened. They would have just known they heard like all that crazy stuff and then it was just dead silent. That's all they could really have heard, known. So if I'm correct, which, yeah, she lets every last fucking guy in here to screw her. She's running a cat house here now. So one of these days, one of these Johns comes up here and does something awful. My green light's going to do it to all 3 of the folks here. And since I'm alone, I have to not be calling. I don't need to explain this to grown adults anymore. For a certain amount of time, because it would endanger myself. Because I don't need to explain this to grown adults. No, I'm no longer stooping to that level. So I have to address the hitman. Will you please take the bodies out of here or do it outside the house? Because this is why, Iranian hitman. This is why. I've had time to, ponder this. You're going to make the Washington, D.C. policing officials have to do their job and take bodies to the coroner's office and then ask me what I witnessed. And they don't want to talk to me, Iranian hitmen. Everybody here, there's a helicopter, massive loud one going over the house. Everybody here, Iranian hitmen, in Washington, D.C., they don't want to do their jobs and they don't want to talk to me at all costs. So I wouldn't even be surprised if they hold the bodies out to the coroner's office and pretended like I didn't live here in order just to not have to talk to me about what I fucking witnessed. And to any cop who's an adult, what I just said, I fucking meant. And that's what they're all about here. All right? Yeah, they probably would. They'd haul out 3 fucking bodies and then leave my door closed and just say, no one saw that. Okay, let's go. Don't have to talk to it. There's no one here. Who's this lady who's been texting us and sending us letters? There's no one here. No, we're out of here. Let's take the bodies, take it to the coroner's office. Okay, bye. You don't want to do that, Iranian hitman. Make the cops in Washington, D.C. have to do their job. So I suggest that you fucking deal with these fucking 3 that I truly believe you have it out for outside the house. All right? Because you don't want to make the cops have to do their job. All right. God bless America. Say goodbye.